Welcome, everyone. 5 minutes from going live. Well, good morning. Good. Welcome to New Thought Unity Center on this lovely Sunday morning. My name is David Kaiser, and I am music director here. Believe it or not, I have been away for a little while for various reasons, but I am so happy to be back here in wonderful Cincinnati, Ohio, where we have our live congregation, and also all of the folks that are tuning in through our Facebook Live page. We welcome you here, and guess what? Something wonderful is about to happen. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, oh yeah, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Get in touch with your body right now. What are you feeling? I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart. And I won't let it go. Something wonderful. Sing it with us. Here we go. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Feel it. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart. And it won't let go. Something wonderful, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now, right now. And yeah, something wonderful, oh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. All this love. All this love inside, we can let it shine, shine. Something wonderful, yeah, yeah. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now, right now, right now. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful. And there is something wonderful, and you can do it times two, because George and Nancy Whitton are here in the house today. There they are. Ow!
David, I understand that you've been away for a while. We've been away for a while, and you're back.
And you're back.
I'm back. We're a pair of B-backs.
Yes.
And make it a trio of B-backs.
Yeah.
We're back.
We're back.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
It is good to be back. You know, one of the things that I wanted to acknowledge this morning as we get started, I don't know if you noticed my tie, it's got a bolt of lightning.
What?
Yeah. And it says, "In the beginning, God." This is Jack Barker's tie. Yeah. So Jack had his celebration of life service not too long ago, about a month or so ago. Anyway, I want to honor Jack, and I wore some outrageous socks in honor of Jack. He always was a sock man. But I digress. Let's talk about our affirmation today. Our affirmation says, "I claim my authority to think thoughts that empower me to create the life I desire." And it's on the screen. Let's affirm it together. I claim my authority to think thoughts that empower me to create the life I desire. And just for a moment, let's just take those words and that thought within ourselves. And it's in this now moment that we do claim our authority to think thoughts that uplift, inspire, and move us into a life of creation. Thought by thought, we create the life that we desire. And we're able to do so because we know that the creative spirit in us acts on the thoughts we think and assists us in manifesting the blessings of our dreams. And it is in that knowing that we say thank you and amen.
Thank you, George. I want to let you know that the prayer chaplains are active even in this time of where there's an uptick in the pandemic, and we do have a chaplain here. We may not always have a chaplain here present in the sanctuary, but we do today. Susanna is here, and we'll recognize her again a little bit later for prayer and protection. But there are two chaplains holding prayer throughout the entire meeting remotely, and we're thankful for the power of prayer and for the power of positive thought. And so at this time, we're going to stand and sing together, I Am the Thinker. Oh, get your rumba on. Here we go. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. If you ask me who am I am wisdom, I am light, I am more than meets the eye, I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. If you ask me what am I am beauty, I am joy, I am more than meets the eye, I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. I can choose to be the light, brighten someone's darkest night. I'm so much more than meets the eye, I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. Again, I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life. Now's the time where we greet each other with a handshake or a hug or a bow. Ask, respect the mask, and greet one another as best we can. If you're out there in the virtual world, thank you for the miracle of the interweb that brings you together with us, a spiritual family near and far. Would you please tell us who you are and where you're listening from and what you're enjoying about our celebration this morning as we come together again and again in this holy space. Woo! I feel a good vibration, healing and transformation all through this congregation. Must be unity, the experience is our mission. Universal wholeness is our vision. I am who I am, it's my decision. Must be unity. NTUC unity.
Thank you. Please be seated. And if you would, say with me our mission and vision statements. Our mission statement is, in God, we are an inclusive, abundant community, experiencing love, transforming lives, and serving others. And our vision statement is, we celebrate a world of harmony and oneness, a place of loving stewardship, sacred connections, and pure joy, where all are welcome with honor and respect. And we are so grateful that you're with us this morning. What we want you to know is that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, wherever you have been, wherever you're going, whichever path you're on, you are welcome here. And we are so grateful for you to be here. If you're here for the first time, there is in the rear of the sanctuary the newcomers table. And there are packets of information along with a gift for you from New Thought Unity. And there will be a board member back there after the service that can answer any questions you may have. And again, welcome for being with us this morning.
I'm looking out and seeing a few faces I haven't seen for a while. It's so good to see everyone here in the congregation. There are things happening all around the center, and we would like to just highlight a few of those quickly now. For all events, see the website, the email blast, or the Facebook event page. Help Wanted. Now, let me make that a major chord. Why did I do that? It was like scary. There we go. Help wanted for someone to fill the part-time position of administrative coordinator. This person would assist the main office and must have excellent computer skills, including Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, publisher, and website management. 5 years or more experience in an office setting is desirable, but if you have just the will and the knack and anyway, come and see us. We're interviewing people right now. The hours are from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and Sunday from 9 to 3 p.m. The individual will have one Sunday off a month. So if you know anyone that might fit that position, please let us know, let them know, and put us in touch. Lessons in Truth book study starting January 12th, running for 7 consecutive Wednesdays. Susanna Whitrock is facilitating Lessons in Truth by New Thought homeopathic physician Emily Cady. Oh, Emily Cady, boy, good stuff. And still true after all these years. It's considered one of the core texts in the Unity Church teachings. The suggested love offering of $40 pre-registration is open. So email blast, Facebook event page, or the center for the link. Give us a call. Karaoke, February the 4th at 7. So we're still in the middle of January, but I have to get my karaoke list together. That's why we're saying this. Friendship Hall, Kim Ballou lets you be a star. So bring your own drinks and snacks. Don't forget to put something in the tip jar for DJ Kim. Women of Wisdom present Creating Conditions for Thriving. Creating conditions for thriving.
with the national best-selling author and cancer survivor, Heidi Bright. Heidi shares the game-changing strategies for creating greater resilience. It happens January the 15th at 10 a.m. on Zoom. Once again, suggested love offering of $10, but tune in no matter what. Call the center or see the email blast or the Facebook event for pre-registration. Crossport. Has anybody been to Crossport? It's great. It meets on second and the fourth Mondays, 7 p.m. via Zoom. Contact Lauren Watson or the center for more information. That's all I'm going to say, because I want you to dig into that, because it's a wonderful, wonderful connection and meeting place. Mastermind. Awaken the Mastermind Consciousness, facilitated by Alice Frazier, meets the first Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. via Zoom. Check the email blast or for the link, or contact the center. Angel's Wings, open today. Get some good stuff. What? Ladies and gentlemen, these boots are made for walking. That's just what all boots are 50% off. Okay. Thank you. Do it again, Michael. I want to hear that. The shop is open Fridays 10 to 2, Saturdays 10 to 4, and Sundays noon to 3. You'll walk out looking like Nancy Sinatra, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be great. Galleria of Grace gift shop is closed until further notice. And the big announcement today is a reminder that there is a meeting, a congregational meeting at 1 o'clock today in Friendship Hall. So get some lunch and be back here, or just hang around. And at 1 o'clock, we'll discuss some very important things in Friendship Hall today. And those are our announcements. Now it's time for us to settle in and prepare ourselves for meditation.
Just to settle in our own hearts, settle into peace. I like to begin begin by taking a few easy, mindful breaths. This helps me just settle down and focus. Focus on God and goodness. Focus on my humanness and on my spiritual nature. They come together at this time to bless me and to bless others in the world. We can affirm these words for ourselves. Every cell of my body, of my being, is just bathed in peace to overflowing. Every cell of my body and being is just filled to overflowing with peace. And I can rest in this ever-present peace right now in this moment. And here I listen. Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night with thoughts of fear and dread? Or really, do you have these thoughts anytime? Imagine what it would be like during those wake-up sessions to think about a world of possibilities instead. Can we let go of the worries of tomorrow and focus in on the present moment, right here and right now? What would the world be like if we took dominion over our thinking and focused on what we want instead of what we don't want? Can you begin to imagine what it would be like if we lived life from a place of daily gratitude and creativity? Our problems won't magically disappear, but shifting our thinking to what we want will calm the mind, release stress in our bodies, and give us a new outlook. We create new neural pathways in the brain, and we open ourselves to new possibilities. Change your thinking, change your life, and imagine what that could be. And after we do that, then whatever we do, we're acting from love. So let's rest in the love of God, in the love of goodness that we are for a few moments in the silence. can be so simple. No matter where we are, what we're doing, no matter through our ups and downs, through our pain or comfort, through our fears or the peace that we feel, we can always choose thoughts of love. That's the bottom line. Always turn toward love. What does that look like? Well, it could be wonderful to find out. Let's try it. You know, life is simple. Turn to love. It's not always easy, but with determination, commitment, and practice, it can be. So let's choose loving thoughts, thoughts that heal and bless and comfort ourselves and others. Then we truly will feel the peace of God that passes understanding. For this insight, for this experience, for the love we share right here and now, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peaceful rest, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to this present moment here, to this new beginning here. And I'm seeing life so clearly now. Somebody sing with us. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in.
to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
Well, thank you, David. Thank you, group. Good morning. I didn't have to ask you twice. Thank you. Well, it turns out there was a Sunday school teacher who asked Johnny. You know, Johnny can be troublesome sometimes. Anyway, she said, Johnny, do you think Noah did a lot of fishing when he was on the ark? Johnny thought for a minute and he said, heck no. How could he? He only had 2 worms. Well, today, I want to share some wisdom with you from Eric Butterworth's book, Discover the Power Within. Now, Eric says that Jesus was the Christopher Columbus of the soul. He was able to cross the frontier of the mind, and what he discovered was a new world. And that new world was not out there somewhere. Rather, that new world was within himself. He'd come to realize that humankind contains within themselves the possibility of unfolding a heaven on earth experience. The possibility that all of us share. And he came to know that the mind is the bridge between humankind and the infinite. And he realized that the important element in religion is our thoughts and our attitudes. If you think about it, Jesus really had no desire to overthrow governments. That wasn't what he was up to. But he did want to create a spiritual revolution. How? Well, by changing thoughts. He understood that it didn't take multitudes to change the world order. We know that in our own lives, it only takes a pinch of salt to change the flavor of a stew or a soup. And Jesus understood that it really only takes a handful of people. In this case, the handful turned out to be his disciples, to change the consciousness of the world. How many of you have heard of Ken Keyes, it might be pronounced Keyes, Jr.? Anybody? I guess I'm on an island here by myself. Well, in Ken Keyes, tells the story of a Japanese monkey that had been observed in the wild for a period of over 30 years. And in 1952, that was a while back, on the island of Koshima, Japan, scientists were giving monkeys sweet potatoes. Unfortunately for them, they were dropped in the sand and dirt before the monkeys got them. And the monkeys liked the taste of the sweet potatoes, but they didn't like the sand and the dirt. An 18-month-old female named Emo solved the problem. She took those dirty sweet potatoes and she took them to a nearby stream and she washed them off. And she taught this trick to her mother. And then her playmates also learned that trick of washing the sweet potatoes, and they took it to their mothers. Gradually, more and more monkeys learned to wash the sandy sweet potatoes, and when they did, they were a lot more tasty. Only the adults who imitated their children learned this practice. Other adults, well, they just kept eating the dirty sweet potatoes. And then something happened. In the autumn of 1958, a certain number of Kashima monkeys were washing sweet potatoes, and let's just say there were about 99. And let's further suppose that later that morning, the 100th monkey learned to wash those potatoes. And then something big happened. By that evening, almost every monkey in the tribe was washing sweet potatoes before they ate them. That added energy of this 100th monkey somehow created a breakthrough. And to the scientists' surprise, the habit of washing sweet potatoes then jumped across the sea. Colonies of monkeys on other islands also began washing sweet potatoes. So what the scientists learned was there was a point in which if only one more person tunes in to a new awareness, this awareness can be picked up by almost everyone. So what does that mean to us folks here at Unity? Well, have you noticed that us Unity people are slightly outnumbered? We're quite the minority when it comes to people that think like we do. Have you noticed that? You know, we don't have to convert the entire world to create a consciousness of peace and harmony. We only need to work on improving our own consciousness. And as we do, one step at a time, I think, the byproduct will be the transformation, if you will, eventually for the entire planet. No, we're not out to save the world. That's not what we're up to. We are practicing these unity principles so that we might save ourselves. Save ourselves not from the wrath of an angry God, but rather living a life without experiencing the goodness of God. We want to experience the goodness of God. Now, if you don't want to experience the goodness of God, somehow you've wandered into the wrong church. But years ago, Nancy and I would host groups of people at our house from time to time. And we'd get a gathering in the family room. And as a new truth student, I took the opportunity at that time to start talking about spiritual principles and how great unity was and how great all these principles was. And it didn't take long that I noticed that crowded family room was now empty except for me. Everyone I'd been talking to, trying to educate, had now moved from the family room to the kitchen. Duh. Now, they just weren't getting those wonderful pearls of wisdom that I had to share. What that is what I used to think. They're not getting it. But I was the one who wasn't getting it, because I came to understand that what my message was on those occasions was that my message was, I think there's something wrong with you. And I, being the wise sage that I am, I'm here to fix you. Whether you want to be fixed or not, that's what I'm up to. So in retrospect, there was somebody in the room that needed to be fixed, but it was me. It was me. What I was overlooking was that everyone is already expressing the light of God. Now, their expression is unique to them. My expression is unique to me, and yours is unique to you. But all of us are expressing the goodness of God life, and we're expressing it the way humans do. All of us are important pieces in the mosaic of God life. So rather than me focusing on what others are doing, what I've learned in my time is it's much better to be focusing on what I'm doing. Am I demonstrating the divine possibilities that are within me? Am I applying the law of cause and effect in ways that produce more of what I want in my life? I think we're better served by asking ourselves these kinds of questions rather than focusing on what others are doing or what others are not doing. You know, Jesus was constantly telling us to know the truth about ourselves, that we should always keep in mind that there's a potential already in us, and that we can use that to create the love, the joy, and the abundance that we want in our lives. It's my thought that the purpose of our journey is to free ourselves from the mental blocks that impede our spiritual journey, to free ourselves from the thinking that inhibits the expression of love, of joy, and of abundance in our lives. We're here to open our inner eye, if you will, our inner eye of our own divine potential, and to see life from a higher dimension. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Now, we can't really set ourselves free until we look at life through the eyes of our potential. And our place to do that is to place our attention there on our divine potential. Now, sure, I know there are problems, and sure, there's plenty of challenges. That's just part of our human journey. All of us go through challenge, and we feel like we're being tested sometimes. But those challenges, I believe, at the same time, create opportunities. I like to think of them as hot dog opportunities. Our responsibility is to keep our thoughts positive, to keep our thoughts loving, in spite of what's going on around us. When someone is getting in our hair, maybe I should say when someone's getting under our skin, because you know. But when someone is getting to us, so to speak, we need to take a look about what our part is in that interaction. Now, most of the time, we're thinking that, well, it's the other person that's the problem. Have you ever had that thought? Yet what I've come to know is that if we change that thought, we change it about that other person, once we do that, we can change our whole experience of what we think about that person. What if we changed our thought to, why am I distancing myself from this person? Am I saying that I need to be right? What would I rather be creating for myself? So often it becomes more important for us to be right than to be happy. What if we were to focus on acceptance rather than agreement? There is a difference. All of us, as far as I know, want to be accepted. we can, I believe, accept others even if they have different points of view than we do. And I don't know if you've noticed, but almost everybody has a different point of view than we do. It's just the way our humanness is. Life's journey can be challenging. We often feel stuck and sometimes without opportunity. That might be how we're feeling. But is that true? Or could it be that our thoughts and our attitudes are causing us to think, perhaps, that we're stuck and without opportunity? I want to close with this little short story. There's a story of a man who had gotten an excellent position in a large manufacturer of glass bottles. His job was to develop a design for a double extruded bottle. I have no idea what that is, but that was the job. And he said, and I'm quoting, "They called me a few weeks after the interview to tell me that the job was mine. But the interesting thing was that their explanation of why they chose me for the position, they told me that they had interviewed several candidates, all of whom had more credentials and had more experience than me. But I was the only one when they asked, 'Can you invent this product?' And my answer was, 'Yes.' He said, 'I don't know exactly how I'll do it, but there's one thing I do know. If you can think of a thing, you can bring it into life. Products are the results of thoughts. Our life is the result of our thoughts. What the mind can conceive, a person can achieve.' And I believe that. Now, he was the only candidate that was holding on to possibility thinking. My belief is that everyone in this room, every single one of you, can create the life the way you'd like it to be. We just need to know the truth about the power of our thoughts. Belief is the vehicle through which God's power manifests. Let me say that again. Belief is the vehicle through which God's power manifests. We don't have to create good in our lives, for all the good has already been created. And it's waiting for us to claim it. That's what we're up to. We want to claim the good that's in our lives. The one who says, 'Yes, I can. Yes, I can,' is usually the one that creates a blessed life. And as for me, well, I love you, I bless you, and I behold the creative process unfolding in you and just the way you want it. Great to be here today. God bless you.
Thank you, George. And thank you, Nancy. Wow, to go into meditation, to be led into meditation by Nancy Whitton is just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And we appreciate that. The tenderness with which we get there in that place and consider things that I wouldn't consider otherwise unless you suggested it to mine. And thanks, George. Right on cue. He starts with a joke and then goes into some really deep and wonderful things. It makes me want to go home and watch Sweet Potatoes for some reason. Yeah. But the reminder that the beauty and the wonder and the value of life is within each one of us. So we're going to sing about that right now. Daniel Nahmot's song. 1, 2, 3. had so many doubts along the way. Felt like life was just another bill to pay, without anything to show. But now I've figured out that every day fortune's always found within my faith. And all I need was to let it flow, 'cause there's no walls around me. Fear is only bound me, and all I need is trust, and I'm free. I'm sitting on a gold mine. Sitting on a gold mine. My treasure has been right here all the time. I'm sitting on a gold mine. Finally, I'm breaking through so many lies. All those people telling me to run and hide from the truth of what I am. But now I'm telling you the future's bright. Tomorrow shines like diamonds in the sky. And all I need was to understand that whatever I'm believing, well, that's what I'm perceiving. The riches inside of me. I'm sitting on a gold mine. Sitting on a gold mine, yeah. My treasure has been right here all the time. I'm sitting on a gold mine. Sitting on a gold mine. Don't you ever listen to the voice that says you better play it safe, that says you don't have any choice, 'cause you're as gifted as an angel, brilliant as the sun. Say the word and heaven has begun. We're sitting on a gold mine, yeah. Sitting on a gold mine. My treasure has been right here all the time. Sitting on a gold mine, yeah. Sitting on a gold mine. Yeah, sit. Don't sit, keep on going. Sitting on a gold mine. Yeah, sitting on a gold mine. Going to start digging in. We're sitting in a gold mine. Isn't it great to still be here at New Thought Unity through all the struggles, through everything? We're still here. That's what that meeting is about a little bit later on. So, but now is the time where we dig into our gold mine and share it with our spiritual families. So, time that we can have our gifts and our offerings to our, as I said, our spiritual family. So let's dig in. Let's double it up today, and let's bless it all from the beginning with our prosperity prayer. And let's see, do we have that up on the there it is. And we know together, divine love moving in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. And as our gifts and offerings are collected, just a reminder that our prayer chaplains are actively involved, have been praying through the service today remotely, and we do have a prayer chaplain on duty today. So Susanna Whitrock is here and has the lovely purple shawl. It kind of goes with your outfit. I like that. She worked that out. That's wonderful. And if you've never prayed with Susanna, you should go. What a wonderful, insightful experience that is, to hold the hand of a prayer chaplain and to pray, whether there's something heavy on your mind or whether there's something celebratory in your life. The prayer chaplain is there to share prayer with you. And We have our spiritual family from abroad. So Sarah Elliston says, good morning from Hyde Park. James McLean, good morning from Kennedy Heights. Brenda Zuckmeister, celebrating this day from Price Hill. Man, we are covering every borough, every little section of town, all around. Sandy Allen, sending prayers from Roselawn. Penny Glenn, so wish I could be here, but so grateful to tune in virtually. Randy Mail, that's my roomie. Welcome back, David. Blessings to all from Bolivar, Ohio. And Maria Solser, love and blessings from Deer Park. So we have our spiritual community all around. George, would you favor us by blessing our offerings?
So we just take a moment to acknowledge these gifts. And we're grateful. Grateful for this community that supports our center, that supports others in creating the highest and best in their lives, to share the love that's within them with not only their families, but our greater community as well. And so these gifts given in love go forth to create a blessing throughout this center and really throughout this community. And for the good that's there and the good that's everywhere, we say thank you and amen.
Amen. Want to recognize and thank everyone that's participated and made our celebration this morning possible. We've got Skylar and Connie back in the booth making us seen and heard all around the world. And Brendan is here. He's got the magic iPad that tunes in all the wonderful voices and the music. He just got back. His classes don't start till tomorrow, but guess what? He's doing sound here this morning, and he's loading in for a show at CCM later on. And so we are blessed to have Brendan here helping us with sound. Ladies and gentlemen, the New Thought Unity Center Band.
Yay.
Whoop, we got Peg on the fiddle. Randy, give us a little beat. We got Randy on the drum. And Michael on the bass, who chimes in with all kinds of little musical ditties from here and there. We want to acknowledge that Althea is home and she's well and recovering, just not quite well enough to be with us today, but we expect her back very, very soon. But we certainly have Alice and Jenny singing up front. Wow. And once again, a big hand for the Whittons, Nancy and George, and the blessing that they are in our lives. Getting back to basics. Eric Butterworth, wonderful. And so my thought right now is I'm sitting on a gold mine. I can do just about anything that I want to do. And I have been revitalized and re-energized today. And I can't tell you how much I've missed just standing in this spot and just being with you and sharing all of this.
Let's acknowledge David. Welcome back.
Very, very nice. So let's all stand and find a hand to hold as we know our prayer for protection and our peace song. And sometimes we like to make a circle around. If that feels comfortable for you, that's fine. If not, you can stand right where you are and know that we are connected. Oh, look, we're getting a big connection. We have cheerleaders to make it all the way around. Could it happen? And so we know together our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be with God our Creator. Children all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Do something wonderful. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart. It won't let go. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful. Good job, y'all. Yeah.